He seemed fine the night before, ate a quiet dinner, told his granddaughter to study hard, laughed softly at an old joke before saying goodnight. But by morning, he was gone. No mourning, no pain, just silence. His family was shattered, not just by the loss, but by the confusion. He hadn't been sick. He wasn't in the hospital. There were no goodbye words, no final hand to hold, just a peaceful-looking man, eyes closed forever in bed. The doctor later said something they'd never forget. The body knew. You just didn't. That one sentence haunted them. What did he mean, the body knew? What had they missed? We don't talk about it much, but the truth is, the human body often does send quiet signals when death is near. Not in loud, dramatic ways, not with alarms or emergencies, but with subtle changes. Shifts in behavior, voice, energy, even in the way someone breathes or holds their hands. And unless you've walked that path before, as a nurse, a hospice worker, a grieving child, these signs are almost invisible. That's why today's video is so important, because when you know what to look for, you stop feeling helpless. You can sit beside someone you love with clarity, with peace, with presence. So today, we're going to talk about the 5 quiet signs that death may be closer than you think, especially in seniors or those living with chronic illness. We'll walk you through each one with real examples, emotional clarity, and simple actions that can make all the difference. Because the moment to recognize a sign might also be the moment to say what needs to be said. Where are you watching from today? Have you ever sat beside someone and just knew, even if no one said the words out loud? Type yes in the comments if this hits home, or share the name of someone you're remembering right now. Let's begin. The first sign is one that creeps in so quietly you might miss it completely. Emotional withdrawal. At first, it feels like they're just tired, not answering the phone as much, turning their head away during conversations, seeming a little distant. But over time, something shifts. They're no longer reacting to family stories the way they used to. They don't ask about what's happening next week. It's as if they've slowly turned inward, as if the outside world doesn't quite matter anymore. And the truth is, it might not. As the body begins its final chapter, the brain and spirit often begin the process of detaching from daily life. Not always with sadness, sometimes with surprising calm. One woman, a nurse, recalled how her father, who'd always been sharp and witty, stopped asking about politics or sports. It was like he was watching everything from far away, like he'd already started saying goodbye in his own quiet way. Emotional withdrawal doesn't mean the person doesn't care. It's a protective instinct, a way of preparing, not just for the body, but for the soul. And if you see this happening, the best thing to do isn't to push or question, but to simply sit close, to offer presence without pressure, to meet them in the quiet. The second sign is more physical and more alarming when you finally notice it: changes in voice and appetite. It often starts with skipped meals. I'm not hungry, they'll say. Maybe later. But later never comes. Favorite foods are left untouched. Water sits on the nightstand full. And slowly the voice that once called out across rooms becomes softer, breathier, sometimes even raspy. You may catch yourself asking, "Are you okay? Why aren't you eating?" But they'll smile and wave you off. "I'm just tired." What's happening inside is something we don't often think about. The body's systems are gently slowing down. The digestive system loses interest in breaking down food. Muscles in the throat weaken, making chewing and swallowing more difficult. Energy is conserved for vital functions: breathing, brain activity, circulation. Eating at this stage becomes not just unimportant, but sometimes even uncomfortable. And as for the voice, it's not just weakness. It's a soft fading of the body's power. The lungs no longer inflate as fully. The throat becomes drier. Speech, even small talk, begins to take effort. You'll notice longer pauses between sentences, maybe even between words. This is one of the clearest clues that something is changing, but also one of the easiest to dismiss. After all, don't we all feel tired sometimes? Don't we all lose appetite when we're not feeling great? That's the trap. These signs hide in plain sight, and unless you connect them, unless you see the pattern, you'll miss what they're trying to say. So if someone you love stops eating the way they used to, or if their voice starts sounding like a whisper, don't panic. But don't ignore it either. This may be the body's quiet way of stepping back, of preparing for the next part of the journey. In the next chapter, we'll talk about something most families completely misread. It's a moment that feels like hope, like things are turning around. But in truth, it's one of the final signs that time is running out. We'll explore why that burst of energy might not mean recovery, but goodbye. The third sign often breaks hearts, not because it looks like decline, but because it doesn't. In fact, it's the exact opposite. It's called the sudden surge of energy, and it confuses even experienced caregivers. Picture this. Someone has been in bed for days, barely talking, eating nothing, sleeping often. Everyone begins to prepare, but then one morning, they wake up with a strange sparkle in their eyes. They ask for a cup of tea. They want to sit up and talk. They even smile and joke. Family rushes to the bedside, hopeful, relieved. They're getting better, someone says. Maybe we were wrong. But this moment, as beautiful as it is, can be deceptive. What's really happening is a final rally, a mysterious, short-lived return of mental clarity and energy that can happen hours or days before death. Doctors and hospice nurses have seen it countless times. It's like the body gathers its last reserves of strength to offer a final gift. One last chance to connect, to say goodbye, to leave with dignity. And for those left behind, it can be both a blessing and a heartbreak. Because just when they begin to hope again, the decline returns. And this time, it doesn't stop. One nurse described it like this. It's like a candle that flares up right before it goes out. Bright, sudden, then silence. Understanding this surge for what it is can help families prepare, emotionally and mentally. It's not a miracle cure. It's not a medical turnaround. It's a sacred window. A brief, powerful moment of clarity that shouldn't be wasted. So if someone you love suddenly wants to talk, or offers a memory, or says something profound, don't brush it off. Lean in. Be present. These might be their final gifts. The fourth sign is one that often gets dismissed as confusion or fatigue, but it's something far deeper. Hallucinations or visions. In their final days, many seniors begin to see things others don't. They may talk to people who've already passed, a mother, a sibling, even a long-gone pet. They may look toward the ceiling or the corner of the room and smile. Or they might reach out with their hands as if trying to touch something invisible. At first, this can be unsettling, but in truth, it's often a sign that the boundary between here and what's next is growing thin. Hospice nurses said this is more common than most people realize. It doesn't always mean fear or distress. In fact, many report that their patients seem calm, even joyful during these moments, as if someone is coming to walk them home. Whether you believe in the spiritual side or not, the brain itself begins releasing chemicals in its final stages. These can cause vivid imagery, dreams that spill into waking moments, and conversations that seem to blur past and present. The key is not to correct or argue. Just listen. Smile. Let them speak. Sometimes what they say in those moments holds more meaning than we can imagine. The fifth and final sign isn't about what the body does. It's about what the spirit begins to let go of. Something hospice nurses call detachment from the world. It doesn't happen all at once. It's gradual, like a soft, quiet fading of interest in the things that once mattered most. Maybe it starts with a lack of appetite. No more craving favorite foods, no interest in tea or water. Then conversations get shorter. The TV stays off. Favorite shows don't matter anymore. A beloved book lies closed on the side table untouched. Even the most talkative people may grow silent, turning their gaze inward as if listening to something far away. It's not depression, it's not sadness, it's something deeper. The body, mind, and spirit begin pulling back from the physical world, as if preparing for something beyond it. Family members often misread this as rudeness or worry that their loved one is giving up. But this stage is often a peaceful one. The person may sleep more, or they might simply want to sit in silence, not out of misery, but comfort. Like a tide pulling away to shore, they're slowly letting go of their connection to this world and making peace with it. One hospice worker explained it this way: it's like watching someone pack invisible bags. Not out loud, not dramatically, just quietly, spiritually, getting ready.
When you notice this change, don't panic. Don't try to bring them back with loud distractions or forced cheerfulness. Instead, be present. Sit beside them. Hold their hand. Offer love, not pressure. This is the moment for soft smiles, not pep talks. And sometimes, just sometimes, this final sign is followed by the most powerful one of all: acceptance. It's not always spoken, but it's felt. You can see it in their eyes. They are no longer afraid, not angry, not confused, just ready. Ready to rest.
Ready to be free from the weight of a long life lived. And it is in that moment, that breath between holding on and letting go, that some of the most sacred goodbyes take place. A squeeze of the hand, a faint whisper, a final look of love, and then stillness. If you're still watching this video right now, pause for a moment. Breathe. Think about the people in your life, your parents, your grandparents, a spouse, maybe even yourself. Have you seen any of these signs before? Have you been there for someone during their final days and recognized these quiet signals? If so, type yes in the comments. Not just for me, but for others watching who might be feeling alone in their experience. Sharing helps others know they're not alone, that someone else understands what they're going through. And if you haven't seen these signs yet, now you know. You've learned something today that could one day bring comfort, clarity, and calm in a time of deep emotion. These 5 signs, the physical withdrawal, the unusual calmness, the sudden energy surge, the visions, and the detachment, they are not random. They're not meaningless. They're part of a natural, mysterious, sacred process we all will walk through someday. And understanding them gives us one of the greatest gifts we can offer someone we love: presence, peace, and a gentle goodbye. Let me know in the comments, which sign surprised you the most? Which one felt familiar? Which one will stay in your heart? We're reading everything, every story, every yes. And if you found this video helpful or comforting today, I want to thank you for watching and being open to such a tender topic. Please consider commenting with the word peace if this resonated with you. Share this with someone who may be sitting beside a hospital bed right now. And if you want to keep learning how to support aging loved ones with knowledge and compassion, subscribe to this channel and turn on notifications. Together, we can bring understanding and dignity to the final chapter of life. So now that you know these 5 signs, what should you do with that knowledge? The truth is, death isn't just a medical event. It's a deeply personal, emotional transition for the person leaving and for those left behind. And recognizing these signs doesn't mean giving up. It means showing up with more gentleness, more presence, and more love. If someone you love starts sleeping more or pulls away from conversations, it's okay to meet them in that quiet space. If they speak of seeing someone long gone, listen and ask who came. If their hand squeezes yours just a little tighter after days of stillness, squeeze back. These are moments you never get twice. Sometimes knowing these signs helps families say what they need to say before it's too late. It helps children tell their parents, "Thank you." Helps spouses say, "I'm here, you're not alone." It helps us offer dignity, not fear, peace, not panic. And even if your loved one doesn't say a word, your presence can speak volumes. Because in the end, it's not always about saying the right thing. It's simply about being there. If this video brought you comfort or clarity today, I want to thank you for watching and being open to such a tender topic. Please consider commenting with the word peace if this resonated with you. Share this with someone who may be sitting beside a hospital bed right now. And if you want to keep learning how to support aging loved ones with knowledge and compassion, subscribe to this channel and turn on notifications. Together, we can bring understanding and dignity to the final chapter of life.